All right, guys, so hey, we were talking a little bit about how to identify what this is. We did the VIN number from the door tag. You know, a good thing to look at on these cars too, this one will always be covered. The VIN number on this car is stamped on the rail right here. It's also stamped where you can see it on this rail, but this rail is covered by the fender. So a good way to tell if this car's ever been molested or not, or someone's tried to replace any of these pieces, is the VIN number won't be there, okay? And of course, if it's been in a wreck, this one won't be here either because they replaced all this stuff. But as you can see, VINs here, they both match 62431 on both sides. So this car is intact front to back, VINs match, same motor, same number on the motor. So we are an original car. This has never been hit, never been impacted. You can see it, it looks great up in here. So again, this is one of those rare, you know, barn finds that you just find that it has no damage. Normally when they come out, now don't get me wrong, there was a lot of stuff living in this car before we washed it out. I mean, this was like a home to lots of small animals, okay? But fortunately they didn't eat steel, and it was not left in the elements so that the elements wasn't eating the steel. It just made it a great little platform to start with. So as you can see, it is totally stripped. We've got it on rotisserie, it is supported, and now we just have to get down to doing the cleanup, the little bit of body work that it needs, go ahead and hang the new suspension in it while it's on the rotisserie, get all new suspension points in, and then it will be ready to get painted, go in the booth, we'll reassemble it. We'll take our hot little 260 that's going to turn 8,000 RPM, we're going to make it a little screamer. Cool C4, we're going to go ahead and change the rear axle, give it a little more ratio. This thing started out at 300 to 1. We're probably going to get to like a 323 to a 355, somewhere in there, to give it a little more acceleration off the line, but still make it a cruiser down the road without having to go to an overdrive and all the other stuff that, you know, we just want it to be a great little car. We talked to the guys from Vintage Air in San Antonio. They're going to hook us up with this really great dash unit that goes in under here that will give us full electronic control, AC, defrost, all that stuff, and go right in the original location. You know, normally guys, like in this area right here of the car, you will find a lot of rust in this cowl because the water just sat in here and you've got a drain here and a drain there. And what happens is you get foreign debris in there, leaves, sticks, twigs. It blocks the drains, so then the water sits in there and it rusts this cowl out. When we took this car apart, that cowl is in perfect shape. There is no rust in there. It's just what you would normally find, what you normally look for in these things. You know, okay, this is going to be rusted. I got to fix this. I got to fix this. I got to do that. We don't have to do any of that to this car. It's so cool to get one that we don't have to cut sheet metal out and put new sheet metal back in. So that's where we're at. This is day 2. Actually, it's halfway through day 2, and we'll finish washing it up. We'll start hanging the new suspension points. I'm bright now, and we'll start doing the underside prep, get it all detailed out. We'll do the top side prep, get it all jammed out, and then we'll assemble the body, paint it, and then we'll have the motor will be freshened by then, the transmission will be fresh, and we'll put it back together, and we're going to have a great little 64.5 GT that you can get in, turn the key, and drive anywhere you want. Disc brake, power steering, rack and pinion, be a lot of fun. Full coilovers, going to weigh 2,500, 2,600 pounds with 300 and probably 30 or 40 horsepower that will run with any Dodge Demon on the planet because it weighs half of what the Demon does. So who cares if it's got 600 horsepower to the ground? This will have 300 to the ground and weighs half as much. That guy in that Demon's going to be, damn, get that Mustang away from me. So, you know, and we'll open the hood, it's like, oh, it's just a little 260. It's not a big Hemi, it's just a little bitty motor, you know. Hey man, when you're lean, you don't have to have a lot of muscle because you ain't toting it around, right? So there you go. You know, what do they tell those guys in special warfare training? Muscle don't float, muscle sinks, right? Weight sinks. So if you build the package like this, it doesn't have to have stupid gobs amount of horsepower. It just has to have the correct power to weight ratio. And that's what we're doing here. Yeah, we could make it stupid horsepower wise, but it's traction limited anyway. We'd have to tub the car and cut it up, and this car is too nice. I am not cutting this car up. But what we can do is make it a great balance package to what we've got. We'll balance the amount of horsepower our little 260 can make and keep our weight right, make sure we stay on a diet, be lean, be agile, and we'll have a great car that'll be a lot of fun to drive, and it's not going to break the bank. It's not a budget buster. So that's what we're building here. Help us come up with a name for this one. Don't know what to call it. The little pony that could, the little pony that can, My Little Pony, I don't know. But you know, when you think about a 64, 65 Mustang, when you go a little red Mustang, right? When I say Mustang, the first thing you think of is red. That's what this is going to be. It's going to be a little red Mustang, white interior. We're going to put some really cool wheels and tires on it to go along with all the great suspension. It's going to be a fun car to drive. It's going to be a fun car to own. It's not going to break your wallet, and you can play with it, hand it off to your kids, sell it. The cool thing about it is a survivor. It's not rusted up. It's not tore up. It hasn't been cobbled back together. It's really not far off of the way it was stamped in 1964. I mean, it's all there. All we've got to do is just enhance the drivetrain a little bit. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put a great paint job on it, which is something they couldn't do in 1965, to really show it off, and then one of you is going to need to have it. And that's what we want. We want one of you guys to get excited about it, follow the build, and go, I need that in my garage, and that will make us both excited. So keep watching. We're going to build it for you. Whoever you are, I'm building it for you. Just let me know when you want it delivered. Thanks, guys.